In Kiss news, Gene Simmons shared his love for several surprising artists, which included The Killers and ABBA. The Kiss bassist has often been known for his opinion, believe it or not. Gene elaborated on why he chose ABBA's Greatest Hits album in the mix of his favorites. He had stated, ABBA's music rises to a level of greatness no matter what generation it is. It's the ability to craft songs that are forever. He was going to say the Bee Gees, but he is afraid that would upset a lot of people, but he stated those songs are undeniable, and I tend to agree with him. Simmons said, the truth is that we like all kinds of music. He said, what's interesting is in the dressing room, we put on all sorts of music. A good song is a good song. Kiss announced their latest Off the Soundboard recording from Poughkeepsie, New York from 1984. This recording was taken live at the Mid-Hudson Arena on November 28, 1984. This is kind of a big deal to us Kiss fans because this may be the only known soundboard recording with guitarist Mark St. John. Mark St. John was briefly Kiss's guitar player from April to November of 1984. St. John developed reactive arthritis, which causes hands and arms to swell. It is reported he only did 2 shows and part of a show on the Animalize tour. A fun fact about him, he's the only member of Kiss who did not appear on an album cover. In a recent interview, Paul Stanley recalled the time he dabbled with the different mask makeup before returning back to the Star Child makeup in less than a month. The Kiss co-founder had appeared as a character known as the Bandit on 3 different occasions between December 31st, 1973 and January 26, 1974. In a recent interview at Yahoo, he explained that the change had come about after discussion with Neil Bogart, who was the band's first record label boss, after they had to deal with Casablanca Records in November of 1973. Neil felt that the star basically did not pack a punch, and he wanted Paul to do something more macho on stage with this makeup, which led to the Bandit makeup, which made its appearance in 3 events. Paul was not satisfied with it, and he said, you know what, it's my gig, it's my face, it's my makeup, and then he went back to the star makeup. When asked about the star makeup being the easiest to apply out of the 4 Kiss characters, Stanley noted it's not quite so simple, because you're putting a flat object on a 3D face. Paul also recalled the one time that Neil actually told the band to tone it down, as they were getting a reputation that other bands did not want to play with them when they were starting out. Stanley said because they were new, they could get away with a lot of things. When they were opening up for headliners, they would hang the huge Kiss sign behind them and it would stay up there for the entire night. He said back in the day, nobody was asking if the band was going to hang a sign or if they were going to use pyro. It was basically uncharted territory. Paul said we basically did whatever we wanted to, and then we quickly got the reputation that would make it difficult for us to find gigs. Ozzy Osbourne and Joan Jett will appear in a Workday Super Bowl ad. So if you don't know Workday, have never worked with Workday, it's a software vendor that a lot of companies use. I actually have experience with it, and I will keep my comments to myself.
Sharon!
The band OK Go is being sued by cereal company Post Foods over the right to continue using the band's name for a range of their instant cereal cups. If you don't know who the band OK Go is, they're that band that choreographed that treadmill song that came out years ago. It was pretty impressive. According to the company's filing in the Minnesota federal court, the band had been threatening to sue for months, and Post Foods would be unfairly forced to continue investing in its new OK Go brand while under constant threat of unfounded future litigation by the defendants. So basically the company is seeking a declaratory judgment ruling that they've basically done nothing wrong. According to Post Foods, the United States Patent and Trademark Office, who, by the way, don't watch any music videos obviously, did not find that the cereal's name would cause any confusion with the band OK Go. The band OK Go released a statement and said, a big corporation chose to steal the name of our band to market disposable plastic cups of sugar to children. That was an unwelcome surprise, to say the least. But then they sue us about it. The band went on to say that the idea that they can just bully them out of their name, since the company has so much money to spend on lawyers, they said they guess that's often how it works, but hopefully they will be the exception. Ticketmaster was grilled by lawmakers. Lawmakers grilled the top executive of Ticketmaster's parent company Live Nation on Tuesday after the service's inability to process orders for Taylor Swift's upcoming tour left millions of people unable to buy tickets late last year. One of the senators commented, I want to congratulate you and thank you for an absolutely stunning achievement. You have brought together Republicans and Democrats in an absolutely unified cause. Ticketmaster apologized for the problems with the Taylor Swift tickets, but largely blamed it on bots and other external pressures for its problems. Now, I don't think there's any denying that Ticketmaster and Live Nation actually have quite the monopoly going on here, as they're dominating 80% of the ticket sales that are in the U.S. The chief executive to SeatGeek, which is a smaller aggressive competitor to Ticketmaster, was at the hearing and brought up if the 2010 merger of Live Nation and Ticketmaster should be undone. He had stated this is the only way to restore competition in the industry. SeatGeek has been competing with Ticketmaster over the last 5 years trying to sign up venues for ticket deals. The company's had some success, which includes the Dallas Cowboys and some theaters that are on Broadway. He once again pointed out that several venues are in fear of losing Live Nation concerts if they don't use Ticketmaster. This is great that they're being brought forward to kind of explain what's going on, but I'm just not very hopeful that things are going to get taken care of, at least for our interest. In why I support getting an education news, people are mad about Pink Floyd's new social media logo, which commemorates the 50th anniversary of The Dark Side of the Moon, because it has a rainbow in it. Spoiler alert, the cover of Dark Side of the Moon, which came out in 1973, also had a rainbow on it. The original album work features a prism with a beam of light entering through the left side, and out the right side comes a rainbow, even though technically it's missing the indigo color. It's one of the most identifiable album covers in music history, but you're probably not going to know that if you're just listening to politicians or Fox News. Sammy Hagar says that remasters of his era of Van Halen are coming soon. A fan had posted on Instagram that he wished that the OU812 and 5150 albums would get a remaster, and Sammy responded, "All that is coming soon. They started with the live album, it's coming out first, and then they're going to remaster everything. I really look forward to hearing this." The Doors guitarist Robbie Krieger said he sold the rights to the band's catalog to help charities. No financial figures have been revealed, but they feel it's significant. Krieger said after 58 years, the most magical of times, that he decided to sell his share of the Doors to Primary Wave. He said, "This will enable me to help charities that I've been involved with, as well as some new ones too." And he said he knows Primary Wave cares about music, art, and helping legacies to go even bigger than they have established themselves. Nikki Sixx said that the first Motley Crue rehearsal with John 5 was effing epic. Nikki had stated that John 5 basically walked into rehearsal and they ripped through the set from top to bottom seamlessly. John 5 has been a longtime fan of Motley Crue's music, and he actually contributed to 3 original tracks in the group's recent biopic, The Dirt. Last November, Nickelback's Chad Kroeger was telling people that he personally heard John 5 play every single Motley Crue riff that's ever been written and recorded flawlessly. This is great news, seeing that they are teaming up with Def Leppard to start their world tour, which is going to kick off in Mexico City on February 18th. Justin Bieber sold his music catalog. Okay, next story. In guitar news, Neal Schon just created the craziest PRS Silver Sky yet, complete with the humbucker and Floyd Rose. So Schon decided to equip his desired specs to a Nebula Silver Sky, which is a limited run model that reflects hue and light differently at different angles, which makes it one of the rare Silver Skies that are out there. He replaced the bridge and a single coil pickup that was in there and replaced it with a bare knuckle humbucker and a Floyd Rose tremolo system. So there's no word out there if John Mayer himself actually likes what Neal did to his pride and joy, but I love what he did with it. I can literally spend hours on Neal Schon's social media pages, as he's always posting clips of him playing for 2 or 3 minutes and showcases all these beautiful guitars. I don't understand why Neal Schon doesn't have his own guitar line, like for example with Epiphone. Just his vision of what he has in his collection, he can really be putting out some really nice guitars. This is a great guitar story as well as a good love story. There's this metal-loving couple that exchanged Gibson Explorers instead of wedding rings. Maddie Danger said that her and her husband Jay Aspen were almost more excited to receive the Explorers than they were to get married. The high school sweethearts, both 26, tied the knot on December 16th, paying tribute to their favorite genre by wearing gothic attire, arriving at the venue in a black hearse, and exchanging black and white Gibson Explorers. I wish them both many years of headbanging and the best. Great news for the Badlands Guitar Company. The guitar company that was founded by the Tone King and Philip McKnight have officially sold out their first run of their guitars. Don't worry, because the company has other models that they are going to be coming out with. Rumors are the next version will be released later on this year.